Hi, John and Deanna here again from the backyard. Want to talk to you a little bit this week about sports. A lot going on. Um, Representing today. We'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, we'll talk first about the NBA. The Phoenix Suns just put out an ad for a need that they have for a social media courtside reporter, which would be the first in their history and maybe in the history of a lot of not just NBA but sports franchises. This social media courtside reporter will be interacting with the fans, connecting with the fans, tweeting, posting, bringing the fans' perspective into the game. And what better place to do it than the Suns, because they have such a great fan base, as we talked about in our book.
And the Phoenix Suns fans are our special group. We wrote about the Phoenix Suns in collaboration and co-creation, so we were lucky enough to get to do some research on Planet Orange and take a look at exactly how they interact with their what they call citizens on Planet Orange. But they do such a good job of actually bringing fans into the process of not disrupting the fan-to-fan interaction, but actually celebrating with fans. And they were one of the first, I think, in sports to really define the role of fans within social media.
Well, that's the key, and we talked about it in a blog post we did this week about the authenticity and not being non-intrusive, to allow the fans to say what they think, what they feel. It takes it from a the game experience to an our game experience. The fan becomes part of the team.
Yeah, developing a creative use of social media, it's a process. And it's a process where the fans play a very, very important role. And the more that you can do to enable a fan, whether it's via images or via video, and as you know, we're always talking very much about original, that kind of content is very emotional and very much a sustainable part of moving forward within social media.
And we see that in other sports too. The NFL, some teams, did I mention I have my Bills on tonight?
And we would get there.
We see that with some teams and some players specifically. They've had to come out with rules on when you can tweet during the game, and not during the game, but before and after.
But I think some of the players are actually doing a better job of truly, authentically interacting with fans than even the teams themselves. And for whatever reason, teams seem to be a little bit hesitant. Some teams in different sports, baseball for instance, are doing some things where there's social media sections and they're doing things, but they're still very much trying to moderate that fan-to-fan interaction rather than to really let fans co-create these original ideas and celebrating, what I would call celebrating, right along with fans, or crying.
The brand or the team needs to entrust their fans. Because the fans don't go away. Players will go away. It's their job. They get paid. They may be there for a year or 2 or 3 or 5, and then they're done with that. A fan, like myself, who comes from this area, is a fan for life. And the Bills will always be my team. I'll take them to my grave, but not to dwell on that.
So the NFL has a little bit. They have a ways to go. As far as responding, of really celebrating and maybe crying.
Well, there's so much opportunity out there to engage and connect and bring the fan into the game and let them celebrate the game.
Like last night with the Tigers versus the Yankees.
Absolutely. We watched a little bit of it on TV, and then we couldn't put it away. We brought it up on the laptop and watched the game cast till the end. It's game 5. You gotta make sure the Tigers win.
But we were defining our occasion through a family member who happens to be a very good baseball advocate, a smart baseball guy,
and a very big fan,
and a very big Tigers fan. And to us, the entire experience was really trying to live it through his eyes. Right. So immediately we were watching it through a Gamecast on ESPN, which was actually kind of cool too. But we wanted to, and there's a Twitter feed right alongside of it. They do a really good job of that. But we wanted to keep going back to what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Every single pitch,
Yeah.
every single out, and knowing what he was thinking, it was very, very interactive, and we wanted to experience the game through his eyes, which is where social viewing comes into play, and that is very much what's next, especially given the convergence of mobile. What's going to happen next with the way we're viewing socially. But you have to pay attention to those experiences and those occasions, because that's what fuels that emotion, and that's what creates those very strong and very sustainable social media connections. So the more the brand can do to enable fan to fan, the better the sports team
True.
will
True.
be.
Very good. Very good. Anything else?
Well, I wanted to say just a few things about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Not that everyone in the world hasn't already said something, but just understanding what his life was for us.
And not that we have met him or knew him personally.
But he has touched the lives of everyone,
Yes,
and he's changed so much. And so we were thinking, when someone has touched your life like Steve Jobs, and emotionally motivated maybe a direction that you've taken, once that you've lost them, and you know that this person has spent their entire life challenging traditional and inspiring change, the worst or saddest thing that you possibly could do would be to go out tomorrow and do the same thing that you did yesterday. So I think one of the things that we might want to do, especially those who are really feeling a little bit of the loss of the inspiration of Steve Jobs, is to make sure that tomorrow you go out and you challenge and you inspire and carry that on.
And part of that is, remember, everything is possible.
And everything is different. Take care.
Bye now.